Hello, hello. It is day 343 of my 365-day raw suspending disbelief journey. It is March 31st, 2025. I know what year it is, I swear. And we're coming up on the end of this podcast. Like, oh my gosh, you guys. I've been thinking about this a lot over the last few days, actually. Like, I have said, how many times have I said over the last month, 2 months, maybe even, that I need to pull out my script and review what I had scripted for this year. And this is 343. That's 22 episodes left. Like that is it, or 22 days left. Probably not even 22 episodes because a lot of them now aren't single day episodes. But yeah, so it's really highlighting for me, like, we're coming up on the end and you haven't reviewed this. And I can tell you right now, like, I don't remember all the specific details of it. And that says a lot. The fact that I didn't review it regularly throughout this year, is probably going to mean that it is not lined up anymore, that I have gone askew right from that original path that I was aiming for, the specific things that I was aiming for. But I am not going to pretend like the original plan wasn't the original plan. So I will find that script, I will review it, and I will probably just break it down step by step. This is one thing I said I was calling in, and and then um be accountable for it. Like, did this happen? Did it not? And probably discuss each piece a little bit. And I am going to do that. So, so that's going to happen. However, I even wanted to do that today, and it didn't happen because, well, first of all, so today was the first Monday back after spring break. This was the first day of half day schooling with Jace, where he's schooling at home in the mornings and then at school in the afternoons. Casey being at school in the afternoons, and all of it. So actually the morning went really, really well. We spent and we could have probably done it before the first day of when he's supposed to be doing schooling, but we spent an hour in the morning going through making new sort of morning routine charts. My kids love having the visual and being able to check off their things or stick on their check marks and all of that. And I so we spent some time on that. We sort of revamped what do your schedules look like on weekdays when you are only in school in the afternoons? And especially because one of the biggest benefits of doing only the afternoon schooling was that Jace can sleep in. And actually, well, Casey too, because Casey's always tired, but Jace struggles more to fall asleep, and so he ends up being really tired on school days when I have to get him up really early. So it was sort of this is one of the nice parts of it, is that he gets to sleep in and have enough sleep, but he doesn't sleep in crazy. So it's not like it's going to affect his sleep at night, but he will this way get enough. Right. So anyways, we did our schedules up. We sat down and did some actual schoolwork, and the kids did followed their routines and did their little things that they needed to do. And everything was great. It went really smoothly. And school drop off was fine and everything. And then I got home and I was like, okay, here's my 2.5 hours of work time. And it went to shit. It just was, again, with the Mercury retrograde. I still hadn't completely finished with everything tech wise that I was trying to sort out the day before. And so I was like, I'm just trying to fix stuff here. I'm just trying to get things working. Nothing was working. I ended up being on the phone for most of that 2.5 hours, again, calling multiple companies, trying to sort stuff out, being on support chats and all of these things, trying to get everything working so that I could just be getting my stuff done. And it was still just for fuck's sake. So why is everything so hard right now? And I know that it's Mercury retrograde. I know that it's Venus retrograde. I know that it's the end of eclipse season, and it's all of these things. It's all of these things at once. And it's really powerful energy. And if you work with it, it's really, really great. And some parts of my life, I'm working with it really well. And some parts I'm I'm just losing my mind. So, that was the afternoon, for me, was that Mercury retrograde crap again. And just really frustrating because of that. And I have noticed, like, I mean, I'm very much like a cup is half full type of person, and like seeing things, the bright side of things and everything. But man, in this last few weeks, like this up and down of like, I think it's time to start going again, and then things get hard again, and then think it's time to start going again, and then things get hard again, or like, the kids are back to school, and then they're back off again. Like it's just been this up and down, and it's been really frustrating. So, I'm not, I'm not pretending that I'm not frustrated, that things are not, a struggle, because they are, but at the same time, like, once I let that emotion process through, then I'm like, okay, it's kind of funny. Like it's getting to that point. So, yeah, that was kind of, I hit that point with it, and I was like, I think it was about half an hour before I had to go pick the kids up from school. And I got off the last call. I had sorted out the thing, right? And I was like, I just burst into tears because I was like, what the hell? Like, this is getting absolutely ridiculous. I found this thing on Friday that was like this perfect platform that I'm super excited about, super in love with. Everything was going amazing. Like, why? Why is it hard again? Um and then I just sort of like I cried for a few minutes, and then it was like, okay, now I'm good. And I just like sat and I started writing, and all of this stuff was just flowing out of me. And it was like that was the last thing that needed to break. Oh, I should knock on something probably, because to say that was the last thing that needed to break. Why did I say that? I take it back, universe. Um, so anyways, it was like, okay, now the flow can be here. Okay, now you can move ahead again. Now, and I keep getting this sort of like stop and go. So, um, part of me doesn't want to trust it, and part of me wants to just suspend disbelief that it's fine and it's going to be fine and it's all going to be good and it's going to be wonderful. Um, but today was frustrating. I will not pretend it was not frustrating. And it was also an unusual evening. Like we had an appointment in the morning tomorrow that was like, it was going to take a good chunk of time, and I wasn't going to be able to have the kids with me. So I asked my ex again to take them. So it was like a couple of days in a row of him taking them on his, when it's not his days, and doing me like quote unquote a favor. And, which I don't like, just because I know that it later gets hung over my head, but it was completely unavoidable at this point. So I needed them gone for tomorrow morning. So he was like, well, I'll just take them at night. So I took them to his house in the evening, and um, Cadence asked to go to a friend's, and went to a friend's, and then there was more drama, and there was more frustration, and there was, and it was just like, I'm going to bed. Like that's where I'm at right now. It's just like, I'm going to bed. I'm done. I'm going to go to sleep. Just sleep is the best option when things start getting like this. So that's where I'm at. And I mean, there's only 22 days left of this 365-day challenge. And I'm like, I'm so torn. I feel a part of me is like, oh, you gotta hit all of the things that you were aiming for in the next 22 days. And part of me is like, don't be an idiot. Things have shifted, and things have really shifted. There has been a lot that has shifted this year. By no stretch has it been, small change. But I think it's been different change than I originally thought it was going to be. So, and, fair, because the universe doesn't always give us exactly what we're planning. Sometimes what is best for us is not exactly what we're planning, and something else entirely comes in. And I do trust and believe in that. And I am grateful for all of the shifts and all of the big changes that have come over this year. And it will be really interesting to review them as soon as I find that script, so that I can do that for you guys. I expect I'm going to like make a real effort to find that tomorrow. And I do expect that episode will be a little bit longer, because I'll be breaking it down and covering each point separately, and all of that, and having a little bit of an outline for what I'm going to talk about. Because a lot of the time I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, so Mercury Rx is still here for, a couple more weeks, but I do feel like the energy is coming unstuck. I do feel like the clarity keeps coming through. I am still just trusting. I'm still suspending disbelief that I am exactly where I'm meant to be, that I am, um, everything is working out exactly like it's supposed to. And my success is inevitable, even if it looks a lot different than I originally planned at the beginning of this year. So, um, yeah, I do look forward to reviewing that. And um, I've also been, since I'm coming up to this deadline, or not to this deadline, but to this finish line of this challenge, I have been starting to think about what this looks like going forward, because I have really, aside from the last few months have gotten really wonky, and I know that, but I have really enjoyed and found a lot of benefit from reflecting on a regular basis, and just sort of recapping what goes on, because it helps me to anchor it in. It helps me to notice the progress. It helps me to realize, the things that I'm getting stuck on that are, realizing how long they go on for, realizing it faster. So I do like it. I don't know that I want to keep doing it as a podcast that people can listen to. Um, Even not editing them and getting them uploaded, like, this has still been a struggle in this phase of life. And just with how much I'm looking at every single piece of my business and of all of the activities that I do, all of the passions that I enjoy, and all of these things, I've been really looking at, like, how do I make things easier? How do I make them take less time? What is going to work best for me? What is more flexible so that I can make sure that it's a yes and that I get it done? I'm thinking possibly having a written version, but not doing a daily, or possibly continuing on with this and just, setting new intentions and maybe resetting how I reflect on it and what the expectation is of myself, because clearly, like, the daily got really hard. And I think that that's reasonable with everything I've been dealing with, but it also means looking at, okay, well, what could I agree to? What could I, still, feel confident that I can show up for and that will work better, and all of that. So I'm exploring all that. I'm thinking about it. All of those things will come out as I decide on them. And yeah, I can't believe there's only 22 days left. So, um, that's what I have for you guys today. That I think that that's all. So I will talk to you all tomorrow.